G'day folks, this is Sim. Welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. And we are about to embark on our very first quest. So, we have our party from the last episode. We've got Reynold, who is our crusader, frontline fighter and a little bit of healing. We also have Dismas, who is our apprentice highwayman. General damage. We have Mantell, who is a Seeker Plague Doctor, who is a little bit of a healer and who also specialises in buffing and debuffing. And finally we have Marille, who is our Vestal, and she is very much our healer, but also a little bit of a tank as well. So if we have a quick look at base stats, she's got 24 hit points. Mantell has 22. Dismas has 22 and Reynold has 33. Something else that we might want to take a moment just to quickly cover. The hit points that they have are a function of their level predominantly. The dodge ability is a function of their armor, and I also believe the armor also affects the maximum number of health points that they have. So that's something to take into consideration. This AC mod is an accuracy modifier, so that's something that we need to be aware of. And with that said, let's not muck around and let's have a look exactly what we have to play with. Now, we should have an option here to scout, to get provision before we go out, but I'm not sure yet exactly how to go about it. So currently we've got scout, estate map, and we've got this mission: test yourself in the mad realm of your fallen ancestor. Take note of how the creatures have taken over, but don't delve too far. It's a short mission. Our goals are to explore 90% of the rooms. Up here we also have We Are the Flame. Now this one is a much higher level mission, and probably not sure why it's available this early on in the piece, but we're probably not going to play with that at this particular point in time, because we need to kill the shuffling horror. The difficulty level is medium, and I'm not sure what the darkest level 6 information here actually is. So let's go back to something a little bit less stressy. And let's hope, because I still haven't figured out yet how I'm supposed to provision, that I am not going to go into this mission without provisions at this particular point here. Now it says build a party from the roster, so do we have to drag people down and place them in position? And is that the position that they're going to be in when we go into the game? We'll put you at the back, we'll put you here. Now we have a provision option. Good. I was a little concerned about that. So let's have a look at what we've got. So, you'll want to take different supplies depending upon what region you're going to, how long the quest is, and your own preferences. Always bring food and torches. For your first short quest, try bringing at least 8 food and 4 torches. And I have done a bit of reading of the in-game glossary, and I've had a look at the wiki to get a feel. So hopefully we'll go in without too many problems. So at this particular point in time, how do we actually provision? Well, we'll close this and we'll have a look. Alright, so food. We currently have 1 holy water, 1 anti-venom. We're going to go with the 8 food. And we're going to go with the 4 torches, if I can find, there they are, the 4 torches. We're also going to go with, and what's the cost? 250. We're going to go with a couple of shovels because they're used to clear obstacles. I'm going to spend a little bit of money early, and I am going to buy, well, I think we can deal with bleeding, so fingers crossed. Anti-venom is the same, so bandages are bleeding, anti-venom is blights and poisons. Medicinal herbs, which can be used to eliminate debuffs. I'm going to take a chance and grab myself a skeleton key, and I'm going to go with what we've got here, so let's dive in. Alright, your first expedition into the ruins of your ancestry. Be curious, be careful. Let's see if we get a little bit of a story from the narrator. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. Now we have a map of the area that we're exploring, and we need to explore 90% of the rooms. There are... how do we move this around? Right click? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm assuming we need to explore at least 6 out of the 7 rooms. And yeah, whatevs. Move to this room. Alright. So let's advance. Now we can see there is a curio here, it would appear. Looks like a torch. And let's examine this. And let's see if we choose him, can we get him to examine? I'm not sure. That brought up Reynolds' skills, so... Alright, no. So, we just get to take a torch. Alright, fine. No problem. And at the moment, we're just going to continue on. And let's just have a look at the map. And we've reached the next room. Well, that was pretty non-eventful. So now we'll go forwards. And we have our first encounter. Alright, now these guys, Bone Rabble, they're unholy, which means that these two are going to get some bonuses. They are 200% resistant to bleed, so obviously being undead, blood is not really a problem. At this point in time, Dismas has got the highest speed, so I'm guessing he is the one that's going first. Let's just have a look just to be sure. His speed is 7, and we can't switch at the moment to see. Can I right click on her? Yes, I can. Speed 4. Speed 1, very slow. And speed 7, so he's also quite fast, but he's the same speed, so I'm expecting his turn is going to be next. So let's have a look. We've got Open Vein, which causes bleed. Seems kind of pointless. We have 25% damage versus marked creatures and a ranged single shot. We have the Grape Shot, which does general damage to all. And we have a Tracking Shot, which, okay, it has an accuracy very high but very low damage. It also buffs this character by, this is the self, 12% damage, 6% accuracy and 5% crit. So the damage is low, but it increases his abilities over time. Let's try this just to see how it works, and we will aim at the guy in the front rank because he's targetable. Or is he? No, he's not. This is the only one that's targetable, so we'll aim at him. And we got a buff, and that buff is that buff that we've got there. It's going to last for 3 rounds. Now, the Vestal. Curing. He can also buff all of the characters or one of the characters. In fact, that's what we will do. We will go with that and we will say buff this guy with a 25% damage buff. And then finally this guy here, extra damage. Alright, we're not going to go with the bash. I think we will go with the illumination and see how that works out, which means basically we're not really doing any damage at the moment, we're just prepping. And we'll aim for this guy at the front. Okay, so that does do some damage, and it's... oh, okay, well, yeah, that's really slowed everything down. In fact, considering how much damage this guy has taken, I'm just going to go straight in with the attack, because I'm going to work until otherwise on the principle that we reduce the number of enemies as quickly as possible rather than doing general damage all around. So we're going to go with the smite. So I don't think he has a oh, hang on a second. Zealous accusation. Ranged. Well, these guys don't have a lot of hit points. Let's give it a shot. Well, there you go. Alright, now we'll move forwards, and how do we examine this? How do I interact with this curio? Here we go. Open, okay, it wasn't trapped. We got a shovel, we got some gold, and we got a portrait. Alright, so far so good and reasonably dull. Now, let's pick this room and continue. Now this is the reason why we bought the shovels. Clearing the obstacle by hand will take considerable effort. Using a shovel will obviously be the preferable option. We have currently 3 shovels, so there we go. Now we've used 1 shovel to clear 1 obstacle. I was curious as to whether they had multiple uses or they were a one-off item. That's certainly going to help. And now things get much more interesting. Alright, so what have we got here? We've got a cultist acolyte. These guys, he's human. And got an 83% chance to hit him. He doesn't have very heavy resistances, whereas these two in front are undead, so they're not going to bleed. Considering we've got this guy going, can we hit this rank with this? No, we can't hit him with the open vein, so decision time. I think we're going to go with the buff option again, and we're going to see what we can do with this guy at the back, because I suspect he's going to be a bit of a problem. 2 points, and we got the buff, and he's responding straight away with an incantation that massively increased the stress. And our light is getting lower, so we might need to bump the light level up. Okay, and will this take a movement point? I don't know. Right click, yep, we'll push our light up. This fellow here, play grenade on both back rounds, and it causes blight, which they're not particularly resistant to, so we're going to go with that straight up. Now, I didn't hit the other guy. I'm not sure why. Oh, because the 2 back rows. Okay, what have we got here? I think we need to start doing some damage, so let's just go straight in with the mace bash on the front guy. Nothing really special, so we'll follow up with a straight up smite on this guy here, and oh, We got 2 then. I need to take a little bit more notice. Okay, the corpse is going to keep him out of the way. And we're back here again. Now that we've got this guy who's blighted and this guy who is buffed, what options do we have? We have the pistol shot, we have the grape shot blast. It does reduce damage, but multiple. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Oh yes. And finally, battlefield medicine, plague grenade. Well, unfortunately, that's all we've really got to go with. And this guy is now blighted and dead, and we are awesome. And we're also ridiculously overconfident. So, let's continue. Alright, let's have a look at the map. And now we appear to have a choice. Move to this. This is a room battle with a curio, and this is a room battle with treasure. Well, and they both seem to have curios along the way. I think we're going to go with this one here and see what options we get. Okay, so this is a sack which contains treasure. Lovely. And now we're getting some stress. Let's increase the light level for the time being. And that was a fairly uneventful trip. What shall we face? Alright, so again we have some bone soldiers. This is all early stuff, so it shouldn't be too bad. This guy at the back here, ranged attack. They're all undead, so they're all resistant to bleed. And of course we've got our friend Dismas here, who can attack the first 3 ranks with a grape shot blast. So let's just get some general damage across the board. And he takes it back in the gut. You, on the other hand, I'm going to keep with the range stuff. It's the last 2 ranks, so I'll only hit 1 guy with that. Battlefield medicine seems pointless. Let's buff up our tank again. Ouch, that tickled. So did that. And we will go for the guy with the most health while he's buffed. I keep forgetting that attack, I have to have a closer look at that because it's hitting 2 at the same time. Now you increases the light level. There's a pretty good chance we can take this guy out and do some damage to this guy with illumination. What's the range? Yep, so it's only going to hit 1. Now I'm hoping having this guy in the front rank is actually going to make it harder for him to do damage. But for now, Dismas, we can go in with the hard attack. And he resisted the bleed, which is not surprising. Let's finish him off. And I forgot to check the stat again. And we'll take the gold. Now let's have a closer look at this guy. I want to have a closer look at that attack. So his smite attack, it doesn't say that it damages 2, but it appears that it does. Not sure why. Or is it because I'm using Zealous Accusation, which does damage the front 2 ranks? Maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to what I'm actually doing. Alright, let's see how we go. Okay. I'm still curious if there is a way to get somebody other than the guy in the front rank to examine the curio. Ornate Fountain of Holy Purport. Yes, that's how we do it. And I got some gold. Well, thank you. Onwards. Now we have to choose a destination. Do we go back here? Or there's a trap there. I vote we go around. It's going to waste some time, but I think it's worth the effort. Now, do I move forwards to go backwards? Yes, I do. Oh, and that's the bag that we searched earlier. Back into the room. Now, hopefully there will be another curio. Light is getting dimmer. Alright. You've got most hit points. I would prefer that you do the checking at the moment. And we have loot. We have a skeleton key for strong boxes and doors, some cash, and a debuff charm. Now, I'm not sure how these work. Let's have a look at this. It gives a 20% resistance, but -2 to dodge. And how do we operate this? Right click? No. We can give it to somebody. Let's go with this guy, and he's tanking anyway, so his dodge is probably not going to be as important, but if he can resist debuffs, I think that might work in our favour. So we'll go with that, see how it all plays out. Now the rest of these are just treasure, nothing that we can actually actively use, so onwards we go. And time to use up another torch. Ooh, now this is starting to look a little bit more interesting. Cultist Brawler. Don't like the look of his fingernails. He's not resistant to stun, so I think we definitely want to do something about that. Plague Grenade, blight damage, or we buff. Now we're only going to get one target with that because it only attacks the back 2 ranks and we don't have anybody in rank 4. I'm going to take a chance and keep with the buffing. And that was not me. Excuse me for a moment. Sorry about that. Let's get back into it, shall we? Yep, let's buff this guy. And now we want to take advantage of our Grape Shot Blast and see if we can get some general damage going. Not too shabby. Okay, this is going to increase this guy's stress dramatically. You, on the other hand, extra damage versus unholy, and these guys are not unholy. The guy in the middle is, but he's not that special. Alright, decision time. I think I'm going to go with straight up smacky smacky. Yep, good choice. Nice hit. And we resisted the bleed. Awesome. So yes, that's the zealous accusation that attacks both ranks. Stunning blow, which we can use against this guy here. The smite, which does extra damage against this guy. But yes, we're going to go with the zealous because it's proven to be rather effective. And we missed. Maybe not so effective. Ouch, that hurt. That was painful. Alright. Time to go with the grenade. And it's only the back two ranks. I think we'll still do that. Now critical hits actually reduce stress. So that's worth remembering. What happened to her? Oh, she's got additional stress and she's also bleeding. Alright. I think we're going to go with the general damage to all, and we've taken him out. Oh, wow. We got both of them. And a dodge. Dismas, I'm starting to like you, mate. And you can just go straight in with the mace bash. And we're kicking butt. Alright, so got to be pleased with how things have gone so far. However, things can turn so very, very quickly. So you've got the most hit points. I think you can examine the trapped chest. Damn it. And he's bleeding. And I don't think we can check it again. So it would appear that if they're trapped, that's it. You don't get squat. Alright, so, well, we're moving this way now. And onwards we go. And she's still bleeding. Let's have a look. We don't really want to... don't have much in the way of healing options. And nothing that we can do while we're just roaming around. So we're just going to have to wait until the next encounter. Yes, we know you need a bandage, and so do you, but guess what? We're not using the bandages at the moment. Oh! I did not see that trap coming. That's a bit painful. However, we are getting ahead. And it would appear that I have failed to hit the record button after coughing. We made it through that last fight. And I picked up some cash, I picked up some new toys. But unfortunately, we missed it. And I feel like shit. What we did do, which I was going to leave for the next episode, but now we've probably got a little bit of time, is unlocked the tavern and the abbey. Now, you can see here that Martel and Marilay are actually quite stressed. And we can deal with that by using the tavern and the abbey to our advantage. Now, we'll try with Marilay first because she's religious anyway. And let's have a look at the abbey. And we have some options. Oh, okay. The caretaker can go to the Abbey to chill out. Interesting. So, can we send Marille? Okay, she can pray to a higher power, or she can flagellate herself. If you're not sure what flagellation is, Google is your friend. Why not? Oh, that's expensive. So to reduce her stress, that's going to cost 1,500. Let's do it. Confirm the treatment. She seemed to enjoy it. I'm not sure how long we have to leave her there. But for now, let's go and examine the tavern. And what do we have here? We have the tavern. Now we have some upgrade options. And we have a bar, we have gambling, and we have a brothel. They all cost the same. And I get the feeling from the look of Mantell that he has a little bit of trouble getting the ladies. So let's spend some points. This reduces the cost. Okay, let's go hard on the brothel, shall we? And let's see what Mantell thinks about the pleasures of the flesh. Okay, yeah, he seems quite happy with that option. Alright, we will leave him there. Now, that means that we've spent a bit of cash. We've also reduced our roster by 2 because they're in treatment. So let's go to the stagecoach. And okay, we have some new options. But let's look at the upgrades first. I still don't think I need to increase my roster size. And I haven't made any more, or haven't gained any more deeds to increase the network size. So I think we're just going to go with what we've got here, but we do have the option of getting ourselves a new Vestal and a new Plague Doctor. We'll leave this Crusader for the time being because Reynold has been doing okay, and we will see how it goes. So, in our next episode, we can delve deeper into the ruins. And we've got this quest here, or another short quest here. And at the moment, I'm pretty confident with the fact that I don't want to do anything too hard. I'm a wuss. But we're not going to do this now, that's for sure. We are now going to call it an episode, and I'll say thank you all for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. And until then, take care of each other, everybody, and ciao for now.